Is there a particular, I guess we'll go in the order that I read. Board Member Cannon, did you want to speak to that? And then we'll follow with Board Member Davis and Board Member Earl. So, okay.
I was asked, pardon me, I was asked to report on the Board of Directors meeting specifically that was held back in Washington, D.C. And so I've emailed you kind of a long, hairy report if you're interested. Maybe I'll just mention a few highlights in the interest of your time. NASB is thinking that their goal as an organization is to be service-oriented and to serve the different state boards of education. To do that, they want to seek a new board members meeting that will occur after NASB's annual conference in October, and they will contact new board members who have been elected. I will just mention that in June we'll be having the New Board Members Institute, and NASB will pay for 2 of our new board members to go, and we have Sean Newell and Scott Hansen who will be attending that meeting. NASB has set up a staff member to be a liaison for whatever we have needs from NASB in the state of Utah. And our liaison is Megan Blanco, the Senior Policy Associate at NASB, and so I've included in there her email and her phone number. If you have anything that you want to get a national perspective on, please feel free to contact them. Rachel Wise, the NASB president, spoke with us. She is interested in making sure that I let all of you folks know that the annual convention this year will be held in October in her home state of Omaha, Nebraska. And she wanted to tell me, because she thought people here might be interested, that one of the things they have in Omaha is she called it the winter headquarters of the Mormon Trail. But she said, let your people know that if they come to Omaha, Nebraska, this is a beautiful place to visit, and it might be of interest to local Utah people.
I've been there once.
So I told her that I would be sure and mention that to you folks.
To your people?
Yeah, to you folks.
Is there room for our horses when we go? Or?
Oh, well, who knows? It's Omaha. We heard from Martha Wise, who is chairing, I think she's from Maine. She's chairing the Governmental Affairs Committee. They call it GAC. Michelle served on GAC last year, and Board Member Cindy Davis represents Utah on Governmental Affairs this year. Thank you, Cindy. We also have a Public Education Positions Committee that is chaired by a board member from Wyoming, and we need someone who would serve on that committee. So if you would let me know if you might have time. I think these are like mostly telephone meetings, and they might be meeting at the annual conference. But if you would let me know if you're interested in that. That's probably enough. There's more in the written report that you have been emailed. So
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity to go. I think it was great, and we had big fun visiting all of our congressional people. Oh, and I should say that they commented on Utah at NASB and said, we won the prize because we had more board members attending. I think there were 3 other states that had 6 members at the legislative conference, and we had 7 members. So,
Well,
yay, Utah.
we're used to winning, aren't we?
We like to win.
Be number 1. Okay. Board Member Davis, did you want to comment any? I'm presume because you're on the list, so.
I just want to say it was really great to have 3 shout-outs. Utah had 3 shout-outs at this national conference from 2 different people. One was for our student advisory board, having some student-infused leadership with our board. And another was being one of the first states to incorporate kind of an understanding of students' kind of mental health types of needs in our health standards. And the last one was on a connectivity scale, saying Utah was one of the front runners on connectivity and getting internet out to our rural districts, and how we were kind of leading the way in that way. So it was fun to see Utah recognized in a national arena. And I think meeting with our congressmen, our senators, was really valuable. I would maybe, if at all possible, adjust the schedule if we went again, because there were 2 presentations that day that we met with our folks that would have been so great to attend. And so I know there were logistical problems and things like that, but I'd rather go a day later and add a day if you had to give or take, or if we could just add a day at the end. But I think it'd be valuable to hear those presentations if at all possible, and still meet with our folks. Would have been hard to squeeze that all in, but if there's a way to do that. It was really fabulous, though.
Okay. Thank you. Well, there we go. Yep.
One last thing. I didn't agree with everything that was presented, but I think that's okay. There was one presentation that I really thought, I don't agree with any of this, but you know what? I think that's fine, and I think it's okay to hear a variety of perspectives, and we don't have to always be lockstep with everybody and what's happening nationally, but I think it is great to still learn and grow and understand each other.
Okay. Very good. Board Member Earl?
Yeah, maybe along those same lines just a little bit. I'm trying to understand the relationship of NASB. Anyways, I'm a little bit newer to that particular organization, or unfamiliar with their relationship with states. So I guess I had a different expectation in my mind when I got there than what it was. But I was hoping for more entities there, to be honest with you, from more states, more people, and more collaboration that way. And maybe this was an off year. I don't know for sure. Just a couple things. There was some interesting things that I thought. The student advisory, there was interesting dialogue there of what was working, and maybe some different perspectives on how that worked. And so I very much enjoyed that particular one. I did enjoy meeting with our congressional delegation, and I did very much enjoy the tours around Washington, D.C., and just becoming a little bit more familiar with that area. Yeah, and so I wonder, I don't know how they set up. I don't know if this is something Janet's involved in. It would be great on one particular topic to have several entities present information instead of one philosophical view or one view on a particular topic instead of several. And I don't know if NASB votes and says this is the philosophical view we'll take, or this is the view we will, present, and then they find an entity to present that, or if they have people that come and ask to present. But I think I would like maybe a broader perspective on some different ideas on specific topics. That's just personally what I would like to look at, and then form some, thoughts based on that. But it was an enjoyable time. I'm very grateful we were able to go, so thank you.
Okay. Any questions, board members, on? Well, I'm excited that you went, and it seems like betterments always seem to come, and sometimes it's fun to just compare ourselves to other states, and sometimes it's fun to be ahead of the curve and on a lot of things. So it's thank you for your willingness to take time. That's quite a big trip to make.